I can understand that no one really wants to talk to little Kevin's father because there was a pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after Tracy.
I can understand that no one really wants to talk to Kevin's father because there was a pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after Tracy. Kevin sure it has had enough of staying silent, and now he's ready to speak out against the Braxton family. Word on the street is that there's some serious tension between Kevin and his late wife Tracy's family. Rumor has it that they've officially cut ties with him and don't want him around anymore. While there's always been some tension between Kevin and the family, things have apparently taken a sharp turn since Tracy's passing. Allegedly, they've made it clear that they're done with him. So, what led to this sudden break? What did Kevin do or not do that caused them to turn their backs on him so decisively? Sources suggest that Kevin is finally ready to share his side of the story, bringing receipts and revealing the truth about what really went down during Tracy's final days. Stay tuned for the full scoop. Traci Braxton's husband has finally spilled the beans on some deep family secrets. What seemed like regular family drama has turned into a major feud that could tear their whole legacy apart. Tracy and Kevin got married in 1996 and stuck together for 25 years, facing all kinds of challenges along the way. They were always open about their ups and downs, even going on marriage boot camp. Celebrity Edition in 2014 to work through their issues. After the show, it seemed like they were in a better place, all smiles and positive energy. But then, tragedy struck when Tracy, bless her soul, passed away at just 50 years old after battling esophageal cancer. Kevin broke the heart-wrenching news to TMZ, saying, "We have come to a time when we must inform the public that after a year of privately undergoing a series of treatments for esophageal cancer, our beloved Traci Braxton has gone on to glory." The loss hit her family hard, including Kevin, their son Kevin Jr., and their extended loved ones. Just when it seemed like things were settling, more drama unfolded during the premiere of their reality show. We learned that Kevin Jr. was struggling with more than just the loss of his mother. He's also going through a tough divorce from his wife, Olivia Heron, after just a few years of marriage. Life has certainly thrown him some heavy punches. As for Kevin Sr., he opened up in a video about life after his wife's passing. "My baby passed, and I was like, wow, this is real. I had to move out of our place, had to really reboot my life. And I thank God for where I am now. People who understood and embraced me as a man that knew us and met us on the level from which we were or from which we came, and it gave me the lifeline that I needed to keep moving." Let's just say the Braxton family story is far from over, and we're all staying tuned for what happens next. Braxton family drama. After 3 years of silence from reality TV, the Braxton family is back, and they're serving drama like never before, and from the get-go the tension is already through the roof. The new show is the first without Tracy, who tragically passed away in 2022 after battling cancer, and you can feel the heartbreak the sisters are trying to cope with their loss. But let's be real, their issues are still very much unresolved. Towanda and Tamar still not seeing eye to eye, and it's got social media buzzing as usual. First off, all the prayers are going up for little Kev, because let's face it, losing your mom and dealing with your wife leaving you at the same time, that's a lot. But get this, in an episode of their new show, while chatting with his aunties, something weird seemed to be going on with Kev, and Tamar was out here speculating that he might have been talking to the police. And guess what? Towanda later came back to spill the tea that someone called the cops saying Kevin had a warrant. The sisters are convinced that someone close to Kevin set him up. And speaking of drama, everyone was like, where's Big Kevin? All this mess, oh. And if you think that's the end, buckle up, because episode 2 of the show was still all about Tracy. The sisters sat down with a grief counselor named Spirit, and let's just say the session turned into chaos. This isn't the first time the Braxton have been in the therapy spotlight. They've had Eileen's aunt and Bishop T.D. Jake try to fix things before. In fact, during their session with Van, and Tony famously said, "I'm confessing that although I love my family most of the time, I don't like my family, everyone in my family, everybody. I feel like I'm angry at everybody in my family. I don't like my family. If they weren't my family, they wouldn't be my friends." It's like this statement was made just for Towanda and Tamar especially, with everything that's been happening between them as shown in the early episodes of the show. The episode started fine until the counselor asked Towanda about not being close to Tamar, but before Towanda could even speak, Tamar popped off. She claimed Towanda doesn't care about her and spends more effort on Tony and Trina. Tamar even said she's always the one reaching out first, and Towanda only bothers when the cameras are rolling. And the kicker, Towanda opened up, admitting she couldn't even remember the last time she spoke to Tamar. But she didn't hold back, throwing some serious shade when she pointed out that Tamar didn't wish her a happy birthday back in September 2023. The tension between the two was thick, and the faces they made during their argument? Iconic. Towanda eventually snapped, saying she was done with the drama and was focusing solely on her household, her partner, and her kids. End of story. But hold on, the drama didn't stop there. After the episode aired, Tamar went full-on emotional, posting a heartbreaking video of her sister's final moments. Then, just a day later, she launched into a full-blown rant, dragging her entire family and her fiancé, or alleged husband, Junior, into the mess. She even went as far as to say she regretted doing their reality show. This family's drama is giving major soap opera vibes. The latest buzz is that there's more to the Braxton family than meets the eye. Rumor has it they're hiding some serious skeletons in their closet, and the behind-the-scenes drama is messier than anyone realized. And guess who seems to know all about it? Yep, you guessed it, it's Kevin. Kevin now get this despite still being married to Tracy. When she tragically passed, Kevin was completely iced out of the show, and the whole grieving process. Fans are losing it, saying it's downright disrespectful for the family to have all these heart-to-heart moments about Tracy while blatantly excluding her husband. I mean, if anyone should have been front and center, it's Kevin, right? Social media has been buzzing with speculation, and people are convinced Kevin's been straight up banned from the family. Doesn't it seem a little suspicious that he's not even part of the narrative? Here's the kicker. Kevin went on Instagram Live after the show aired, and while he didn't outright spill the tea, he definitely sprinkled a little shade. He talked about a whole other village stepping up to help him, and little Kev cope with Tracy's loss. The other thing is, I really want people to understand this part till death do us part. Please understand that, please do, because some narratives will not include that in that situation, and I thank God that he gave us that. And like with me and my son, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he's good. See, we have a whole other village, you know what I mean, that was always there for us, the whole other village, and that village came and embraced us and helped us on many levels. When we found out about Tracy having cancer on December 15th, 2020 at George Hospital, we had gone through some stuff prior to that. We were in California. As they brought up, we were out there taping. Tracy talked about how she couldn't swallow. I immediately called the doctor. You know, thank God our doctor was always there for us. Now, what's that supposed to mean? Fans think it's a not so subtle jab at the Braxton, who seem to have forgotten about their late sister's husband already during the early episodes of their new show. The Braxton, Trina and Towanda Braxton, weren't holding back when it came to dragging Kevin Sr. The drama reportedly reached a boiling point when a producer tried to rope Kevin Sr. into the show, but Towanda wasn't having any of it, and made it clear Kevin Sr. wasn't welcome on the show. Never, never. Towanda firmly declared, by no means do I ever want that individual to have any platform on our platform ever again. Don't push me. Apparently the beef stems from Kevin Sr. planning a funeral for Tracy, even though she had explicitly said she didn't want one in her will. Kevin's feud with Braxton's over Tracy's funeral, so Kevin Sr. has been dropping subtle hints left and right, and if you were paying attention, you'd know he's definitely on the outs with the family. And guess what? This isn't the first time there's been drama with the Braxton. Flashback to 2022 when Tracy passed, Kevin was catching heat from her sisters for planning a funeral. Yet the sisters claimed it went against Tracy's wishes, saying she wanted no funeral or wake and just wanted to be cremated immediately. But Kevin, oh no, he wasn't having it. He went ahead with a funeral, complete with a viewing and even a Zoom link, and the sisters nowhere to be seen. The mom, she stayed home too. But here's where it gets juicy. Tracy's dad did show up, only to be turned away at the door because he wasn't on the list. Can you believe it? An insider from the church eventually let him in, but he had to sit in the 4th row. And if that's not enough, he wasn't even allowed to speak about his own daughter. Kevin, of course, fired back, saying none of this is true. He insists the mom and sisters were invited, but chose not to come. He also claims Tracy's dad and brother came to the funeral and were welcomed, and Kevin apparently got receipts. He said Tracy wanted a memorial to celebrate her life, and he was just honoring her wishes. He said, "I was with my wife more than anybody in this world. I know my wife. And when she got cancer, we really started to communicate about funeral plans, and I was still trying to find treatments for her. I went to every single one of her doctor appointments throughout our entire marriage. That's how we were, and now they're treating me like a deadbeat." Husband the Braxton weren't about to let Kevin have the last word, though. Instead of attending his funeral, they held their own private memorial on what would have been Tracy's 51st birthday, and Toni Braxton, she made an appearance on the Tamron Hall show and basically confirmed it in the show. She said, "I'm okay today's, it's okay. It's not my best day, but it's an okay day, you know, and I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm happy that I get to talk about it, and her birthday's coming up soon on the 2nd, and my sisters and I were going to celebrate and have a big Tracy Day thingy." Fans can't help but notice how Kevin has been snubbed yet again, and he's not keeping quiet about it. He told Page 6, "I was never invited. No one has sent me any type of invitation." Now, let's circle back to how this funeral feud started. Apparently, Kevin went against Tracy's wishes, which the Braxton sisters claimed were stated in their late sisters. Well, this left fans wanting to know about the contents of the said, Tracy's, apparently, in the show The Bratton, it was revealed that Kevin Sr. claimed Tracy wanted a funeral but decided against it only when she was on her deathbed, and unable to make clear decisions. This conflict over Tracy's wishes created tension between Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr., as Kevin Jr. sided with the rest of the Braxton, believing his mother was in her right mind when she chose not to have a funeral. In another scene from the show, Trina and Kevin Jr. meet with the family's lawyer Antavius Weems, who handled Tracy's, confirmed that Tracy named Kevin Jr. as her beneficiary instead of her husband. He also mentioned that Tracy had asked him to record her, and he fulfilled her request. She knew exactly what she was doing. The lawyer stated in her will Tracy laid out all her funeral wishes. She wanted her son, Kevin Sherritt Jr., to handle everything. That means he's in charge of covering her funeral costs and any debt left from her illness. And she was super specific about the service, just one viewing. And she wanted to be cremated, no appearances from her sororities or organizations like Zeta Beta or Order of the Eastern Stars. Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr. are the ones making the big decisions about what she wears for the viewing and the guest list. Now, the will also makes it clear that Kevin Jr. is the official executive. When he's ready, he'll take over running Tracy's brand and likeness from Clifton Jones. And get this, Tracy set up a trust for her grandkids with Kevin Jr. as the head honcho, plus he's also in charge of her foundation that fights cancer. As for Kevin Sr., he was given some bank accounts, a diamond ring, and even the remains of Tracy's niece, Lauren Braxton, and the rest of the estate were split between Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr. So it's safe to say there's a lot of confusion around what the will actually states versus what Kevin claims he had discussed with Tracy before she passed. At this point, what's done is done, but the drama within the Braxton family is only getting more intense. Towanda Braxton isn't holding back when it comes to Kevin Sr. She's been throwing serious shade his way, and it's clear that tensions are running high. The family's issues are far from resolved, and the drama continues to boil over. Senor, she's spilling all the tea about her late sister Tracy's relationship with her ex-husband, and let's just say it's not pretty. Towanda, who's been giving us the inside scoop on the Braxton family drama, was on Coiny the podcast and had some choice words about the man Tracy spent years with. She straight up says it wasn't Tracy's anger causing the rift, it was Kevin. Towanda calls him Tracy's ex-husband because, well, let's be real, they parted ways when Tracy passed. In my opinion, you know it's important for me to say this, in my opinion, it was her ex. I call him her ex-husband because they're not married anymore, because she's no longer here till death do us part. They parted because she passed, and Towanda is not holding back about why she feels this way. She thinks Kevin just wasn't a good fit for her late sister. Towanda doesn't sugarcoat it, saying sometimes people project their insecurities onto their partners, and that's exactly what she thinks happens sometimes. You pour your insecurities on your spouse because they... Towanda made it clear that some people in the family want things their way, and if they don't get it, they try to throw a wrench in things. She also revealed that Kevin was never truly accepted by the family, pointing to his past, including his 3 kids from a previous marriage and time spent behind bars. Towanda said Tracy could never really have a fresh start with him because of his history. She even added, "Just because you have years on it doesn't mean it's good." seemingly throwing shade at Tracy and Kevin's nearly 30-year marriage. For some, this may seem like a huge blow, especially considering how much they've been through together. Revelation, but for those who follow the family on their show, the animosity between the family and Kevin doesn't really come as a shock. In fact, there were moments when Kevin and even Tracy herself would get in arguments with the rest of the family. Let's rewind the clock for a second. Remember, about 4 years ago, when Tracy was still with us, there was that explosive episode where Tracy called Towanda a snake and accused her boo of stirring the pot by trying to make the sisters hash things out in Napa Valley. Let's not forget how Tamar dragged Kevin over his criminal record while he was just trying to support Tracy. Things really escalated at Traci Braxton's wedding when Tracy went off on Sean. And then, to make matters worse, Towanda threw even more shade by clapping back at a fan, saying, "Tracy was just mad because, unlike her, I have a real man." Fans were quick to catch the shade, and many thought it was aimed directly at Kevin. Now that Tracy is gone, it feels like the family doesn't even bother pretending anymore. The drama seems more out in the open than ever before. It be that they're cutting Kevin off to avoid him spilling the family tea, or are they just done with him altogether? Either way, Kevin seems to think the icy treatment is intentional. The Braxton sisters' tribute to Tracy, Towanda, and Traci Braxton are honoring the memory of their late sister Tracy more than 2 years after her passing at the premiere of their YTV reality show The Bratton in Atlanta last August 8th. 2024, Trina shared with People that Tracy would want the family to move forward and tell her story when asked about the decision to reunite for another reality show 3 years after Braxton family values ended. Towanda explained, "Tracy did this. Tracy did this. We did this for her. She told us that she wanted us to tell her story. She wanted us to do the show. And this is the first time in history that all the Braxton girls said yes so quickly." During the premiere, the sisters also acknowledged feeling some nerves about once again exposing their highs and lows on camera. Trepidation might not be the right word, Trina shared, but there was definitely a lot of emotion going into the season, especially because Tracy is no longer with us. As I've mentioned before, it's hard to look around and not see her there. She's deeply missed. But we've made sure to honor her by including her in different scenes, sharing never-before-seen footage from our personal lives, and showing personal photos. We wanted to make sure everyone knows that Tracy is still very much a part of our lives. In March 2022, Traci Braxton shared the heartbreaking news of Tracy's passing at the age of 50, and it was a loss that hit us all hard. Instagram accompanied by a statement that says, "It is with the utmost regret that we inform you of the passing of our sister Tracy. Needless to say, she was a bright light, a wonderful daughter, an amazing sister, a loving mother, wife, and grandmother, and a respected performer. We will miss her dearly." In an exclusive preview of the Braxton series premiere, Traci shared that she felt powerless upon learning of her sister Tracy's esophageal cancer diagnosis. She admitted that it didn't seem real at the time. Traci expressed, "For Tamar, family has always been the most important thing in her life, and she's spent years caring for and protecting her sisters. But when Tracy passed away, it felt different. Tamar felt completely helpless. There was nothing she could do to save her, and the grief hit hard." Nearly 2 years have passed since Tracy's tragic death, but the Braxton family drama is still going strong. Here's the kicker. Tamar, known for being loud and outspoken, has kept remarkably quiet about her sister's passing. Yep, you heard that right. Fans have started to notice something that feels off. They claim Tamar seems more focused on her troubled relationships than the fact that her sister is no longer with them. Of course, grief is personal, but Tamar's lack of public acknowledgement has raised some eyebrows. What's even more suspicious to fans, especially those who followed the family show, is how Tamar hasn't said much about Tracy's life or death at all. And let's not forget, Tracy was always known as the black sheep of the family. Sheep of the family, often at odds with Tamar, with only her husband Kevin by her side defending her. This observation only added fuel to the fire, with some fans saying that even if Tamar tries to talk about her sister now, it wouldn't feel genuine to them, especially the ones who've been watching Braxton family values for years. With all the drama in their lives, it seems the family's got enough skeletons in their closet to start a whole Halloween parade. Traci is battling serious heart issues. that could complicate her lupus. Trina is. Tracy's son is clearly struggling with alcohol and food addictions, along with PTSD, and it's heartbreaking to see. It's clear he probably needs therapy to work through all of it. Towanda, on the other hand, is playing defense, dodging questions left and right on the show. And then there's Tamar, well, being Tamar, always surrounded by chaos. Let's be real, there's never a dull moment with her. To top it all off, fans are starting to feel like this comeback show might have come too soon. Instead of focusing on healing and rebuilding their family bond, it feels like they're serving up drama and isolating Kevin, which is really the cherry on top of this messy Sunday. So what do you think? Is it unfair how they're treating Kevin, or does he deserve the cold shoulder? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest Hollywood gossip. See you in the next video.